Hey guys, how y'all doing, man? B Gamer here, man. Hey, I just want to talk to y'all about Madden and Madden 22 in retrospect. And I'm speaking only as on next gen, not on current gen, because I didn't play current gen all year. But I'm speaking on retrospect. And in my opinion, Madden 22 next gen turned out to be a pretty good video game. As hard as it is for me to say that, it really did. A lot of fluke into the game, a lot of glitches. And me being new to Madden, Madden 20 was my first Madden since Madden 13. I always get into that. And Madden 22 though actually turned out MUT wise. I'm speaking on MUT. Regs is a gameplay mode that I just absolutely hate. And I hate regs because you don't have abilities and you can't combat a lot of things that's already so OP in Madden 22 next gen. So in retrospect of Madden 22, since we got Madden 23 in like 2 weeks, it'll be released in two weeks. Right now on this day, as we speak, Madden 23 has 2 weeks before it comes out. The reason why I'll give you the pros and cons of Madden 22 next gen, and believe it or not, I think EA developers actually did a good job the last 2 to 3 months of the game patching. Like, if they could have just patched the game a little earlier and a little sooner, the game would have been so much better though. But them having to patch the game so much is the reason why, like, I give it out of 10, out of a score from 1 to 10, I give EA a 6. I give this game a 6. And the reason why I give it a 6 is because once you learn how to just play and you play mud against good players night in, night out, day in, day out, you start learning a lot of things. You start learning a lot of things, and it's a thinking game more than anything. Like, you really have to think, and you have to have really good stick skills, and you have to be prepared. Like when guys come out and flip the play, you got to try to like know what you're doing. And match coverage also turned out to be really, really clutch. Match coverage is going to be ran a lot in Madden 23, guys, so y'all get prepared. Linemen, you better make sure you have a good offensive line, because, yeah, the pressure is coming in. That's a fact. That's a fact in Madden 23. But these are the bad things about Madden 22 next gen. Number one, wheel routes. Wheel routes were really, really OP. And I know every year we're talking about something being OP. And this year, wheel routes, man, out of bunch, out of tight. However you want to use the wheel route, man, the wheelie route was cooking you. If you wasn't trying to do things like cross-band it, take a free safety or a strong safety, and man up the running back and man up the tight end when they're in bunch throwing wheel routes and they quick IQ, it's going to be GG's if you don't make those different adjustments. The wheel routes, the low ball wheel routes were undefendable. They couldn't be defended. Dudes will come out in bunch, low ball wheel routes all day. Sometimes you couldn't do nothing about it. Sometimes if you shade down a certain type of way or you man up the running back with a safety, it was different tactics you can try that will slow it down. But at the end of the day, man, it was OP, the wheel routes. Number two, the RPO glitching. That's what took me away from playing regs early in the year. The RPO glitching came out, man, and EA just could not do anything about it. They tried. I give them they kudos, man. They tried to patch it. And when they patched one thing, it was another RPO that came out. And thanks to the internet, things get really, really popular really, really fast in Madden. So when EA messes up and they try to fix one thing, we all know what happens. 1,000 other things mess up. So it's like when they try to patch one RPO, it's an RPO in another playbook. It's another RPO in another playbook that's broken. So you had glance, guys was just coming out and just playing with you and just running RPO glance all game long. And it was things that you could do to try to stop it and slow it down, but at the same time, you couldn't stop it. So that was another thing, and it took EA so long to finally come out with a patch, and they fixed it. But it took them so long to finally come out and fix it because It was just so many other goddamn RPOs, and that's the reason why we come in now in Madden 23 and they've simplified the playbook so much. Because simplifying the playbooks is going to take away a lot of potent offenses, man. Because we know in Madden 22 Next Gen, offense was the name of the game. That was the name of the game in Madden 22. We all know that, right? So, Madden 23, I think they're focusing on more of a defensive game, and that's just what it's going to be. Another thing, number 3, that was really bad for Madden, in my opinion. Flipping the play. And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. Coming out in trips tight end, and I can audible the bunch, and I can quick hype somebody before they even set up their defense. You know, I'm guilty of that, doing that myself. Like, I think that in Madden 23, the rumblings are that I'm hearing is that, like, say for instance, you're in bunch and you flip your play. You're not going to be able to hot route everybody on one side and then flip your play and quick hype people. I think that's dead. EA has tried to, like, buckle down on that so guys can't come out in bunch and then they flip the play. They do their hot routes on one end, and then when they flip the play, they just quick hype you. So you won't really have time to make adjustments. And I'm happy about that. Even though I took advantage of it in Madden 22, I'm happy about it in Madden 23 that they got rid of it. And you know the elephant's in the room. Number 4. The number 4 bad thing about Madden 22 Next Gen. The elephant in the room. Escape artists. And not so much escape artists like from shotgun formations or pistol formations. Just escape artists under center. Under center escape artists was so OP because of the movement on Next Gen. We all know how bad the movement was. The pursuit angles and things like that. Like, EA will make your guys just dive for no reason when you don't want to dive. Bo Nose was really bad as well, but escape artists was the elephant in the room all year. And instead of EA just canning it, taking it out of the game, I think they know where they make a lot of their money from. They make a lot of their bread from escape artists. And we got a lot of young kids that they enjoy that. So, you know, having escape artists in the game, it really sold to a lot of players that just probably want to come out, have a little fun with Madden and play around and stuff like that. But hardcore gamers like me, you know, we used to be like, what the hell? But, you know, hey, escape artists was that deal. And not so much escape artists like in shotgun formations, escape artists in general, like in under center formations. We all know how broken that was. EA could not fix that. They try to raise the AP over and over again and take it away. But guys sold a lot of times for escape artists. It used to be dudes if we had an AP cap of 16 and the escape artists were 15. Guys were still using the escape artists because it was just that OP. They wanted to get out, break your contains, and chuck wheel routes and chuck corner routes. Because escape artists was so broken. And you know what? I don't blame those guys for doing it because it was in the game. Even though I raged about it, got mad about it, hey, EA had it in the game and those guys took advantage of it. Like, that was a real big deal, though. That elephant in the room, escape artists. Escape artists was so OP. So OP. You know, it got so bad into the point that EA has made it in 23 an X Factor. It has made escape artists an X Factor. We all know that. Thankfully, they made it an X Factor. But, you know, in my opinion about escape artists, though, I didn't want EA to take escape artists out of the game. I wanted them to just make quarterbacks fumble a little more. Make it be a 50-50 game. You know, like in Madden 20, we had escape artists, and yes, it was OP. But those quarterbacks that had escape artists, and you wanted to use escape artists all the time, it was always that 50-50 chance that you would fumble, right? It was always that 50-50 chance that you would fumble. So a lot of guys used to run around their quarterbacks, but defenses used to get rewarded a lot when they tried to take off running all the time. You couldn't just spam it over and over again. And that never, like, having a quarterback out there and you never going to goddamn fumble, it didn't never put fear in a lot of players' heart to just come out, run with escape artists. You hit stick them, boom, boom, boom. They don't fumble. You can hit stick a quarterback 5 to 6 times in a game and they just don't fumble with escape artists. So that also made it a headache, you know? And I didn't want, again, I repeat, as much as I had an issue with escape artists, I didn't want EA to take it out of the game. I just wanted them to manage it and, manage it. Don't let it just be so OP, And then, like I look at it like this. Just make the quarterbacks fumble more and escape artists wouldn't have even been that big of an issue. It wouldn't have even been an issue. I wouldn't have, as much as I hated it, I didn't want them to remove it all the way out of the game because sometimes when you come up against a good defensive player, you need escape artists to mess up zones and to throw routes that you wouldn't normally be able to make if you just sit in the pocket. So I didn't want them to remove escape artists, and I didn't use escape artists all year. I didn't use escape artists all year because I just didn't like how glitchy it was. It was just crazy though. I'm not gonna waste too much time on it, man. But hey, YouTube and online and stuff like that is a gift and a curse, man. We just gotta take it for what it is, Cause as soon as a glitch come out in Madden 23, man, it's gonna be on YouTube, and everybody's gonna get into it and they're gonna use it. That's just the way of the world now with gaming. YouTube is a gift and a curse of gaming, right? So it's like, man, what could we do without YouTube and the things that we could do with YouTube, It's like a gift and a curse. It's like when the glitches start coming out, they'll be on YouTube. So Madden 23, I got a lot of hope for it. But the funnest week is gonna be them first 2 to 3 weeks of playing Madden 23 because it's gonna be no glitches out for real. But after that first month, hey, people gonna find some things that they can glitch, and that's the name of the game. That's what it's gonna be. And once it comes out on YouTube, let the games begin. I wish EA luck because I got a feeling it's gonna be a lot of patching coming on. And once they patch one thing, they're gonna mess up something else. I hope not, but that's just the trend. That's been the trend, So hopefully Madden 23, man, could be better. But at the end of the day, y'all, those things that I mentioned that were so bad about the game, there were a lot of good things about the game. I don't think everything was just all bad with Madden 22 Next Gen. So, on the scale of 1 to 10, I give Madden 22 Next Gen a 6. It wasn't that bad. But if EA could have tuned it up and patched it earlier, I would have gave this game like an 8.5 or a 9. But them not being able to patch it and find all the RPO glitches and things like that, it made the game kind of like, medium tier. So I give it a 6 on the scale of 1 to 10. I hope y'all enjoyed this review, man. Y'all go out and cop that Madden 23. And let's get down, man. Other than that, man, be gamer here and I'm out, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. Peace out.